Last year, Carlos Bazbaz, president of Lanterra Builders, was faced with a difficult decision. The Houston, Texas residential construction projects that used to fuel his business had simply dried up. What few projects that were available had become hyper-competitive, with dozens of bidders cutting their margins to unprofitable levels, making it impossible to run a successful construction business. Should he continue to try and compete, or close the business down? Could he find a new construction market to pursue? And if so, where would he learn how to take advantage of it in a profitable way? Searching the internet, he turned up a noted government construction authority, Doug Reitmeyer. A federal contractor with over 35 years of government construction experience, Reitmeyer had started a new training program.
Tickets to an upcoming 3-day business acceleration and advanced training workshop. This is where you will learn exactly how to get, buy out, administrate, close out, and get paid for some of the hundreds of federal construction contracts Uncle Sam is awarding to contractors and builders every month. My career spanned 30 plus years of doing only federal contracts, and I considered myself a valuable resource to the government. When I left that, there was a void in the market. So the idea was to create a program where a contractor could come in, learn the same system that I had developed over 35 years, and essentially replace me in the marketplace. In other words, what can I give people that would be so valuable, that had worked for me so well, and could I actually get that into them in a 3-day workshop?
On the internet, dozens of contractors like Carlos were testifying about the success of Reitmeyer's workshop. On one hand, Carlos' interest was piqued. On the other hand, he was wary and skeptical. As Carlos mentions in this email, he exhausted Google search to try and see if this workshop was some kind of scam.
I don't think there was any bigger doubter about this program than Carlos. I mean, seriously, right?
Carlos followed up on those references and found they were positive, so he brought the idea of attending the workshop to his father. When Carlos explained that this training would require a substantial investment, his father, a wise businessman, told him, "Something cheap is usually not good, and anything good is not cheap." Carlos was now convinced. He contacted Doug, explained the situation, and confirmed that the investment to attend Doug's extensive training workshop came with no risk. He really struggled. Yeah, he called me a couple of times. He wanted to be absolutely sure there was no questions asked, money back guarantee. I said, Carlos, yes, look, you qualify. I understand that the construction market, you've been hurt by it. So have literally hundreds of thousands of other contractors nationwide. But I can tell you, in all honesty, every single contractor has been through my program. None of them have complained at all. In fact, by the end of 2011, the contractors that went through that training, there was 31 of them. They had over $100 million in new federal contract awards. Let me just reiterate this real fast. 31 contractors in 2011, 2 of which are on the EAG 500, have earned $100 million in this first year.
And Carlos, what was funny about Carlos was he, at the end of the workshop, when I asked him to fill out the worksheet and tell us, you know, what was the value compared to the investment, give me an ROI, return on investment, he wrote down 1 to 1. And I said, you feel like you got your money worth? He says, I think I got my money's worth.
At the time he sent this email, Carlos had received 5 awards totaling over $300,000 in revenue, and has since gone on to getting several more government contracts.
And then just a few months later, after he'd had his first 5 contract awards, I think he got 4 of them in the same day. I mean, I think Carlos set some kind of record there, 4 federal contract awards in one day. But
now that he'd begun to put the training into practice, Carlos says he soon realized the value of the workshop was closer to 100 to 1. At $10,000, a 100 to 1 ratio translates to $1 million.
Carlos, you're telling me that now you feel confident that the education you get in this workshop is worth at least $1 million, right?
This is Carlos.
Hi, Carlos. My name's Daniel. I'm with Doug Reitmeyer, GC Experts. Hope you're doing well
Daniel,
today.
hey, sorry, I've just been pretty busy lately.
So, tell us how things have been for you since meeting Doug Reitmeyer and why you came back to the workshop for a third time.
Well, you know, things are definitely getting better. I learned something new each time I go to the workshop, so that's always good. You know, reevaluate how we're approaching, you know, the daily business decisions and that kind of thing. So,
All right, from this past May, what was your favorite part of the workshop?
My favorite part is, which is probably an area that I need to improve on, is the dynamic of communicating with the contracting officers and how things work over there behind the scenes. It would help us make better decisions.
How would you describe the value of the information Doug delivers in the workshop?
It's very valuable information. So I'm thankful for having attended, and I hope to continue to have success in this area. So,
What would you say about the relationship Doug has with you and the other members?
he's always available. I mean, when I call him, it's usually he's always there. He's always picks up the phone, and he has, if he doesn't have time that time, he calls me back and we deal with it. And he takes the time to really investigate the problem and to give proper advice. I think it's an excellent consultant. We're no longer building locally and doing local work, residential, more commercial, because the pricing is just way too low, and it's allowed me to obtain new business from other places that I never thought was possible. It's definitely worthwhile. If somebody's interested in successfully doing federal contracts.
If you are interested in growing your business, even in this difficult economy, you owe it to yourself to see, read, and hear the unsolicited testimonials from other contractors and subcontractors that have joined Doug Reitmeyer at the Advanced Federal Construction Training Workshop. Just visit gcexperts.com/testimonials, review the content, then click on the top right where it says workshops and download the latest workshop brochure to find out when the next special event will be coming up. Tickets are by invitation only, meaning you have to ask to get in. The workshops are live and only conducted a few times a year, so if you are serious about getting highly valuable federal contracts, don't wait a minute longer. Call Doug at 512-750-2677 and ask to join. This is Daniel for Government Construction Experts and GCExperts.tv, welcoming you to enter into the federal construction business market. You'll find success with the best at GC Experts.